Hi, Newport residents and folks in the northern NEK. I'm Rick Ufford-Chase, Mayor of Newport, and back to give you an update on what's been going on with the Newport City Council and activities that are happening that you might want to be aware of. Really glad to be with you on a day that is a little windy, but beautiful sunshine and a little bit warmer weather after weather that I think we would all agree we wish would come to an end. It's rain and cold and in the 40s, and it's almost June, for goodness sake. It's time to get some summer weather in here. So I have just 4 quick items that I want to go over today. All of them are kind of fun, and I'm going to try and stay away from the endless jargon and explanations around water and sewer rates and financial things and how to manage debt and all that kind of stuff that I've been focused on the last few weeks, and just share some really fun information that came before the council this last Monday night. The first item is a project of Newport downtown development called the Tiny Art Project, and we had a volunteer, Robin Meady, who came and presented to council on Monday night about what the Newport Downtown Development folks have in mind for this project this time around. I was actually, this is one of those places where I wear more than one hat. I was with a group of 3 board members and my coworker Felicia Updike from Newport Downtown Development for the Main Street America conference that took place in Philadelphia about a month and a half ago now. And one of the workshops that we attended was on a tiny art project. It was an example from Gallup, New Mexico, of all places, and we just came away totally enamored and excited about the idea and thought that it might translate back here in Newport. Here's the way it works. There's a little committee of local artists that has been formed with guidance from Felicia in Newport downtown. And that group of people has taken pictures of some kind of ugly small places that we could bring a little attention to in Newport. Things like broken tiles on the front of a building, or a fire hydrant that's become kind of rusty and an eyesore, or the bridge abutments going over the bridge into Gardner Park in front of the Waterfront Plaza area. So they've taken some pictures of those areas, and as a team they've agreed on the 6 that they'd like to focus on. These initial ones will all be within the designated downtown of Newport, but if this project goes well, we expect to expand it later on to East Main Street and other parts of Newport as well. We've raised a little bit of money through a grant that Newport Downtown Development is working on, and we are going to put out a call to artists to look at these 6 different locations and put together proposals for what they would recommend we do, what they would like to do to beautify this small spot that needs to be prettied up. So there are some examples from Gallup that I found totally captivating. One is that there's an iron fence, that has uprights on it, and the top of those uprights are called fennules, and the top fenule had broken off in some locations. And so an artist cast a small 4 or 5 inch high figure of a seated woman and made little concrete molds of that to sit in place of the fennules. Another location is just a rain barrel that was sitting where 2 parts of a building came together that you could see from the main street. It was kind of ugly and sitting on some concrete blocks, and it wasn't even connected to the rainwater that it was supposed to be collecting and then redistributing. And so an artist repainted the barrel itself, placed a bunch of broken concrete around the base of the barrel and painted it with spray paint, a bright color, and repaired it, as I understand it, so that it's actually functioning to serve its original purpose of collecting rainwater. And it's absolutely beautiful. And you can see some of those examples that Kelby's going to put up for us on the screen to match my description. But if you're an artist and you are interested, or you know an artist who might be interested in learning more about this, we will pay the artists for their installations. It won't be a lot of money, but we're thinking $300, $400, $500 depending on which project they take on. And there will be a number of opportunities. You can turn in a submission for what you would like to do with one of those 6 spots, and the little team of artists that we've collected will go through those submissions and choose the ones that they like, and bring them back to report to council. And we hope to have these submissions actually completed by the end of July. In Gallup, they actually then put them on a Google map so that people can do little art tours of the tiny art. And they're now moving on to their second plan to do a second iteration of this. So I love it. I think it's a great idea. Very fun, not a lot of money, and engaging the artists in our community. So stay tuned. If you'd like to be more a part of that, you can find more information on the Newport Downtown Development website, which is discovernewportvt.com. discovernewportvt.com. So that's the first one. The council was totally enthusiastic about that proposal. Second thing is a project that's been coming together over several months. We have pulled together as a council a job description for a new position that will be filling a critical need in our administration in the city. The position title is Financial and Office Administrator. This person will help to maintain financial records for the city of Newport, provide office coordination and support to be a first point of contact for folks in the community, support the city manager and the department heads in coordinating human resources management, and just in general being the linchpin that kind of holds together our department heads and provides a liaison, acts as a liaison to the community. If you're interested in learning more about that position, we're going to be looking for someone who has some background in finance, and particularly someone who can manage spreadsheets, both developing and maintaining them, and then creating reports from those spreadsheets. We'll be looking for someone who has some experience in municipal accounting, or at the very least can show an aptitude for learning our NEMRIC system, which is the software that manages all of our financial operations for the city of Newport. Someone who has some background or experience with human resources would be welcome, and just somebody who's got a fabulous attitude, who can respond to the public and the community residents in a way that is engaging and open and welcoming, and someone who can be a collaborator and a part of a team with the other department heads here in the city. If this position is filled, as we hope it will be by the middle or end of June, then we will begin to live into some of the work with that position, and then toward the middle of fall or early winter, we'll be looking to create a job description for a new city manager position. So that's where we are in that process. I have not yet gotten those things posted on the website, that is to say the position description on the website, but I will be doing so hopefully by the end of this week. So keep your eyes open. You can look on newportvermont.org to find more information about that position. The third thing I want to mention is another artistic endeavor, also coordinated by Newport Downtown Development. This one you may have heard of because we've been working on this for more than 2 years, and we are finally pulling it together this week for installation. We got a grant, that is Newport Downtown Development got a grant from the Vermont Arts Council 2 years ago, and Newport Downtown Development threw in well over $5,000 to make this project come together. We went to the city, to the high school, and worked with North Country Union High School students in the advanced art classes 2 years ago to develop artistic drawings of things that make us think of the outdoor recreation in our area or just life in outdoor Vermont. The students came back with some fabulous drawings, and the woman who coordinated this project, Amanda Bauscher, who lives here in Newport, took those drawings and rendered them as designs for metal sculptures that are stamped out of metal and will be backlit so they can be seen at night. And we will begin installing those, I hope, this afternoon. I have a friend from Lowell who's going to come in and work with me so we can begin getting those mounted on our main street. So you'll see them at the Pick and Shovel, in front of Green Mountain Natural Foods. There'll be probably one in the parklet, the municipal parklet. There'll be one on the Urgent Care building, possibly another one on the J.J. Newberry building, a couple more that we're not quite sure about their location, and then probably one over at the Welcome Center at the entrance to Gardner Park. So look for those. We have about 10 of them that will go up over the next couple of weeks as we find good weather coincides with our ability to make time for it. And huge kudos to the volunteers, especially to Amanda and the art students in April Kaspari's advanced art class 2 years ago, who made the designs for these come together. I'm very excited to see them up on our main street. And then finally, the last thing I want to mention is just to make sure that everyone knows that on Memorial Day, there will be the traditional Memorial Day parade. It will begin at 10 o'clock sharp, stepping off from the municipal parklet here in right beside the downtown municipal building. We'll go, as we usually do, down Main Street, across the Causeway Bridge, and into the Gardner Park, stopping immediately on the right there where the memorial section of the park is, and then there will be a series of speakers. I'll be walking in that parade. Several other council members will be with us, I think, and we look forward to all of the public coming out to honor the veterans in our community, those who have given military service, and to lift them up, and the memory of those who actually have died in U.S. wars around the world. So please join us for that event on Monday morning at 10 o'clock. I think that's it for this week. I look forward to seeing you again following the next council meeting, which will take place on June 2nd, 2025. Thanks very much.